and welcome to Sports Wrap for May 2019. We bring the action of local high school sports into your living room. I'm your host, Matt Bisaccio, and we'll be putting a bow on the spring regular season and looking forward to the playoff matchups for each one of our teams. First, let's head to Marlboro High to check in on the Panthers boys lacrosse team as they took on Leominster.
The Panthers came into their mid-walk beat contest versus Leominster trying to right the ship and capture their first win since opening day. Things look good early on. Sophomore Andrew Landry has possession with open space in front. He gets to his spot and goes 5-hole on the keeper to put the Panthers ahead 40 seconds in. Marlboro senior goalie Connor Osick also makes the save on this point-blank attempt by Glynn. But as the game progressed, Leominster proves to be the more polished club. This time, Glynn won't be denied as he goes top shelf. Then it's Glynn who finds midfielder Ryan Acey, and he gets the shot off before getting absolutely leveled by Casey. And with 5 seconds to go in the first quarter, Adam Couch puts some kind of move on the Panther D. He drives, spins, changes direction, and fires it past Osick to give the Blue Devils a 4-1 lead. The second quarter didn't go any better for the home team as Leominster put on a passing clinic. Here, Zach Moran spots Nate Taylor in front for the close-range score. Now look at how quickly they advance the ball in transition. From Larson to Moran to Glynn to a wide-open Taylor for another of his 3 goals on the day. The Panthers would get another goal in the first half on this athletic play by Jake Badavas. He extends to grab it, then finishes off the play. Jake would register 2 goals for the game. But the Blue Devils just kept up the pressure. Again, Moran assists on the goal by Van Mold. He finished with 6 assists and 2 goals as Leominster cruises past Marlboro 15-4.
The Panthers would struggle the rest of this season as their sole win of the year came on opening day and they finished the season 1-15. Losing players like Dom Carter and Ryan Meckler left a void that couldn't be filled over the course of 1 year. We'll see if they can take a step in the right direction next season. Now we'll take a look at the girls lacrosse team, who've put together a nice season for themselves and now they're in playoff contention. Here's a couple of their games as they took on Fitchburg and then Oakmont on senior night.
The 7-5 Lady Panthers faced off against winless Fitchburg, looking to stay within striking range of first place Shepherd Hill in the Midwalk C. Fitchburg's Megan Tong gets the Raiders on the board first a minute and a half into the game, but after that it would turn into a long afternoon for the visitors. A little over a minute later with free position, freshman Lauren Lefebvre goes with the bouncer that knots the game. A couple of minutes later, Lefebvre gets the feed from senior Morgan Ron, and Lindsay beats the keeper to her right. Ron isn't done dishing out the assists. This time, Natasha Santos is the recipient, and she puts Marlboro up 3-1. Coach Kelleher had to like what she saw out of her team because they did not let up. Again, Santos gets it, spins off 2 defenders, and finishes. She would end up with the hat trick. Then it's Lefebvre who finds Ron, and Ron powers it through. Morgan would tally 2 goals on the day. It was a tough first half out there for the Raiders, but it's great to see teammates showing each other support like that. The Panthers just kept coming though as Lauren scores another. She finished with a game-high 4 goals as Marlboro dominates on their way to the 12-1 win. 10-5 Marlboro celebrated its seniors and their families on senior night prior to the start of the game. After that, the Panthers looked to notch their 11th win of the year against Oakmont. Early on, it seemed as though the Spartans were in town to crash the party. They jumped out to a 3-1 lead 4 minutes in. But Marlboro would come back, getting contributions from seniors Morgan Ron and Natasha Santos, who beats the keeper here. But the offensive star was Lindsay Lefebvre. She would net 6 goals in the first half, but despite that, the game was tied at 9 going into the break. The Panthers, however, would completely dominate the second half. Julia Mahaney puts the home team up just over a minute in, and that would open up the floodgates. Lefebvre would tally another 6 goals in the second half for a grand total of 12 on the night as Marlboro beats Oakmont 19-11.
Congratulations to the Lady Panthers on a successful regular season, where they finished with an 11-6 record, which is good enough for second in the Midwalk C. They also qualified for the district playoffs, where they take on the 5th-seeded Indians from Grafton. Now make sure you check back next week to see how they fared in the playoff edition of Sports Wrap. We're going to take a quick break, but coming up next, we'll head over to AMSA to catch up with the Eagles. Don't go anywhere.
I play to be a role model in my neighborhood.
I play to be part of the team.
I play to be stronger than my brothers.
I play to channel my energy in a positive way.
I play because the field is where I shine. I play to win.
Hi, Erin. Show me what it looks like to run like a girl.
My hair.
Show me what it looks like to fight like a girl. Now throw like a girl.
Aw.
So do you think you just insulted your sister?
No. I mean, yeah, insulted girls, but not my sister.
My name is Dakota, and I'm 10 years old.
Show me what it looks like to run like a girl. Throw like a girl. Fight like a girl. What does it mean to you when I say run like a girl?
It means run fast as you can.
A concussion is a traumatic brain injury that affects how your brain works. Know the warning signs. Concussions don't just happen from landing on the ground. They can also happen from jarring contact with another person, like a base, top, or back spot. If you or one of your teammates has the symptoms of a concussion, tell your coach immediately. If symptoms show up after practice or a game, tell your parents. Cheering with a concussion is dangerous and can lead to a longer recovery time. A medical professional can diagnose a concussion and give you a timetable for how much rest you need. A second head injury while you have a concussion can be devastating, even life-threatening. So make sure you're fully recovered before returning. The sooner you see a doctor about a possible concussion, the sooner you can get on the path to recovery. For more information, visit cheersafe.org/concussions.
Thanks for sticking with us here on the spring regular season wrap-up edition of Sports Wrap. Before the break, we visited with the Panthers, but now we're going to switch our focus to the Eagles of AMSA. First, let's head over to Four Kicks, where the girls lacrosse team took on Bay Path.
The Lady Eagles took the field at Four Kicks, looking to snap their 5-game losing streak as they took on 0-9 Bay Path. The road team got on the board first. Madigan McManus works her way through the D and bounces it past goalie Alex Senna, and it's 1-0, 6 minutes in. It didn't take AMSA long to respond. Less than a minute later, Lucy McCabe spots Tess Donahue open in the middle ahead of the defense. Donahue doesn't rush, finds room, and snipes it past Tatiana Johnny to knot it up at 1. The rest of the half was dominated by strong goaltending. AMSA's Alex Senna stops the open attempt by Ivy Ballou. And later, Bay Path has another great opportunity, but Senna calmly reels it in to keep the opposition at 1. Bay Path's Tatiana Johnny held her own in the first half as well. Alyssa Nolan, who scored earlier, is stopped here with free position. Then again after a foul, Johnny comes up with the save on the shot by Knopf. AMSA would take a 2-1 lead into the break. The keepers wouldn't fare quite as well in the second half. First, AMSA goes on the attack. Nolan sneaks it past Johnny to go up 3-1. Then it's Donahue with her second of the game to put her club up 3. And Melissa Babinski finishes the run with a goal after the foul to go up 5-1 with under 16 minutes to play. The Minutemen would call timeout and then go on a run of their own. Ivy Ballou takes their next possession, races ahead, and shoots low past Senna to inch closer. 3 minutes later, it's Ballou again. She gains control in a crowd of Eagles, rushes to the front of the net, and scores her second. Now with under 10 minutes left, Bay Path gets another chance after the Eagle foul. Freshman Anna Bonin rips it past Senna, and AMSA's lead is cut to just 1. But the Eagles strike back immediately. Midfielder Leah Uglovich wins the faceoff, gains possession, makes a move, and scores. That goal would turn out to be huge because with under 30 seconds to go, Bay Path has a chance to tie the game. But Senna denies Bonin, and AMSA would hold on to win 6-5.
The Lady Eagles would go on to win one more game a few days later against Monty Tech. However, with a 4-13 record, it was only good enough to finish 4th in Colonial League, and they missed the playoffs. Better luck next season. Next up, the boys lacrosse team looked to sweep the season series against inner-city rival Aspet Valley.
The division-leading Eagles took aim at an 8th straight win, and the 6-3 Aztecs looked for payback for an overtime loss AMSA handed them last month. Aspet would get out to the early lead. Taylor works past LeBaire and drops it into Savoy. Steve catches and shoots in one motion. The keeper can't react in time, and it's 1-0. Later, it's Roach who spots Taylor. Taylor winds up, goes 5-hole on green, and the Aztecs led 3-1. However, AMSA would close the quarter strong. Brandon Poirier cuts through 2 defenders and goes low to beat Crutchfield. Then, Eagle leading scorer Nathan Lee ties the game at 3 with this missile. It was a gorgeous day, perfect for fans to get out there, support their schools, and take selfies. Well, back to the action. The second quarter was as tightly contested as the first. Here, Thomas Hirsch gets the feed and fires it in. But AMSA would find themselves a man down a few minutes later and AV took advantage. Savoy dishes to Roach, and he shoots a laser pass screen. Coach Arena wasn't pleased, and I'm sure this didn't help. Taylor gets the pass behind the net and hits the shot falling to the ground. Aztecs led by 1 at the half. Aspet made a lot of plays in the third, but this was by far their best sequence of the day. First, Crutchfield makes the tough save with the attacker bearing down on him. Then, as he's looking to get rid of it, he spots a couple of teammates deep in Eagle territory. He hurls it. Roach tips it to Taylor, who's in the right place at the right time, and Jake buries it. The Aztecs take the quarter 5-2 and led 11-7 after 3. AMSA was able to control possession and get more shots on goal in the fourth, but AV's D helped maintain the lead. Nero Bono sacrifices the body and gets in front of the shot. Then it's Crutchfield again, who comes up with another of his 17 saves on the day. The Eagles would cut the deficit to just 2 on Lee's second goal of the game, but AMSA would run out of time as AV wins a huge division game on the road, 11-9.
Another close game for these two clubs, but this time it's Aspet Valley who comes out on top, avenging a loss earlier this season when the Eagles won 11-10 in overtime. Both teams have played well this year and have earned spots in the district playoffs. With an 11-6 record, the Eagles get the 10 seed and will travel to BVT in the first round. The Aztecs, who finished 2019 with 11-5 record, will travel to East Longmeadow as the 12th seed to take on the 5th-seeded Spartans. Good luck to both teams. Now let's take a break from the synthetic turf fields and sink our cleats into some real dirt and grass over at Galone Park, where AMSA softball hope to improve their record against the Aztecs.
Playing conditions weren't exactly ideal as it was wet, windy, and unseasonably cold for the middle of May. With just a few weeks left in the season, both clubs looked to pick up a much-needed division win. AV jumped on the Eagles in the first. After Grenier drove in Petroni to go up 1, Lagatola pops it just over the infield. Kinney can't track it in. That allows Grenier to score, and it's 2-0. Next, it's Atwood. She goes up the middle for the base hit. Lagatola comes around from second, and that increases the Aztec lead. Atwood would finish the day 2 for 3. Then it's Olivia Garcia who turns on the 0-1 pitch and drives it to the outfield for the double. Atwood scores, and it's 4-0. Starting pitcher Amber Bolio follows, and she goes the other way over the head of Carvello. Amber ends up with the RBI triple, and to cap off the inning, Ashley LeConte drops one over Olsen at second, driving in the runner from third. AV bats around and led 6-0 after the top of the first. AMSA would get a run back in their half of the first as Bolio was wild with this one. Opposing starter Erin Dean shows off the speed and hustle as she slides in safe at the plate. But Bolio would settle in and dominate the middle innings. She struck out 2 in the second and then fanned the side in the fourth, including Babinski as she's caught looking, and then she gets Nina Gavin chasing to end the inning. Bolio would give up just 3 over her 7 innings of work. And in the 7th, as the rain started to come down, Grenier puts the game away as she blasts this shot to left center field. She comes all the way around for the inside the park home run that puts AV up 6. Aspet would go on to win 8-3 and improve to 13-1 on the season.
After the loss to Aspet, AMSA wrapped up the season going 3-3 and finished the year 10-8. That winning season earned the Eagles an 11 seed, and they'll take on Monty Tech in the first round of the Central D3 playoffs. And to complete our stop with the Eagles, we'll take the quick drive over to Northborough, where the baseball team also took the field against rival Aspet Valley at the Northborough Baseball Complex.
The 7-1 Aztecs took on the 6-0 Eagles at the New England Baseball Complex with first place in the King Division on the line. Andrew Smith helped jumpstart AV's offense in the first. After drawing a walk to get on, he gets a good jump and takes off for second. The throw is just late and Smith is in scoring position with no outs. Trying to move the runner over, Justin Juicy lays down a sac bunt. Andrew Cass fields it cleanly, and Tagliano is late to get over. Cash hesitates and the throw gets by Nick at first. Smith comes all the way around from second to put the Aztecs up 1-0. Coach Gendron always keeps the dugout upbeat, but it was tough to stay that way facing AV ace Tyler Dossis. Here in the second, he gets Nicholas on the off-speed pitch. Then, with the runner at third, he freezes Pachillo with the hook to get out of the inning. On the other side, Cash would settle in. In the second, he sits down Sherling with the gas. Then in the third, he gets Smith swinging, and a batter later, it's Juicy who strikes out to end the inning. Will Casasanto would be a huge factor in the later innings of this game. Here with a runner on, Will fires down to second, and it's a perfect throw to get Wang. Later in the fourth, Dossis gets Jom to fly out with runners in scoring position to end the threat. AMSA would come up with some solid defensive plays of their own to keep AV off the board in the bottom of the fourth. First, Jom fields the grounder at third, has time, but the throw sails wide of the bag. but McCauley snags it and tags out Wagner. Then on a grounder up the middle, Tagliano ranges to his right and makes the play to end the frame. He sure did make that look easy. Nice play. How about another great play in the field? This time with runners on second and third with one out in the fifth, Tagliano pops it to center field. Smith has time to come in for it. Pachillo tags from third and tries for home, but Smith's throw is in plenty of time and the Aztecs get a huge double play to end the inning. In the bottom half of the fifth, Sherling would get on second on a walk and a pass ball. Then it's Casasanto who comes through in a key spot. This time with the bat as he drives in Sherling, who dives headfirst into home as AV takes a 2-0 lead at the end of 5. Let's move ahead to the 7th where AMSA started to make some noise. With one down, Jom starts off the rally with a single to left. Next up, Pachillo turns on a pitch and hits it down the line. That sets up second and third with just one out, which prompted a mound visit by Coach Silk so he could go over the situation. Now it's Stistis up, and he grounds it to short. Wagner's only play is to first. The runner scores from third, and it's a one-run game at 2-1. Here we go. Pachillo on third, 2 down, and McCauley at the dish. He gets a good piece, but it's right at Goulet to end the game. A well-played game on both sides, but it's Assabet who comes away with the 2-1 victory.
A well-played game indeed. We'll have game 2 between these two teams later in the program, and you do not want to miss it. AMSA ended the regular season with an incredible 16-4 record and will be the 7th seed heading into the district playoffs where they're going to go up against Baypath. Now we're going to take one more quick break, and when we come back, we're going to head over to AV to go check in on the Aztecs. Don't go anywhere.
I think everyone walks around with something that you can't see.
We all go through it. I don't care who you are. I don't care who you are, man.
The best thing that I did was to come out and say, hey, look, I need some help.
Never be ashamed of wanting to be a better you, period.
I touched it. I touched the ball before it went out, Coach.
Come on, Alex. The ref did not call that.
You gotta be kidding me, Alex.
It's the championship game. Talk to him, Coach.
I touched it. It's their ball.
Come on and do it right. Don't foul them when they inbound. Team on 3. 1, 2, 3.
Let's go on, Alex.
Sorry, Coach.
Alex. Good call.
Sportsmanship. Pass it on.
Red.
I obviously have a stutter. It's no secret, and I went through the ups and the downs of being made fun of, from my words getting said back to me or getting called Stuttering Stanley, all that stuff. I leaned on my mom and dad as a kid. They helped me through a lot. I thought back to how far I've come since high school, when I didn't like to talk, I didn't like to speak in public unless I was on a playing field. Baseball allowed me to go out and not think about having to speak in public and not think about the social anxiety aspect of it, to be who I was and be who I wanted to be, and I'm out of my shell. I want kids to go to be themselves and to enjoy their lives. Being who you want to be and being who you are is the most important thing in this world. Don't let anybody stop you from that.
MLB, ESPN, and X Games are teaming up to shred hate. Learn more at shredhate.org.
Welcome back to Sports Wrap. Our last destination on our tour through the city takes us to Aspet Valley. First, let's go to Aztec Stadium, where the boys lacrosse team played Baypath on senior night.
Before their second to last home game of the year, AV honored its 9 seniors and their families. After that, it was game time, and the Aztecs were focused on locking down their 10th win of the year. With nearly 4 minutes elapsed in the first, senior Craig McConnell gets Aspet on the board with this crank from 15 yards out to go up 1. Then on the subsequent faceoff, fellow senior Brendan Roach snatches it and immediately breaks downfield. The midi can't keep up, the rest of the D is late to react, and the keeper has no chance. Heck of a play from Roach. Coach Tonelli looked on as his club continued to add to its lead. On this one, Dan Smith spots Jake Taylor, and Jake whips the bounce shot past the keeper to make it 3-0. Bay Path would call a timeout to try to change the momentum, but AV would have none of that. A few minutes later, with 5-0 lead, we would see the play of the game. The Bay Path keeper can't gain control. Taylor picks up the loose ball, and look at that shot. Are you kidding me? We have to check this one out in slow motion. He gets it and goes behind his dome for an absolutely filthy goal. My goodness. AV would lead 6-0 after one, and they go on to win on senior night 13-0.
Like I mentioned previously, the Aztecs finished the regular season 11-5, good enough for third in the Colonial, and they have a 12 seed in the district playoffs where they'll take on East Longmeadow in the first round. Now we're going to go over to Aztec Gymnasium, where the boys volleyball team is having one heck of a season. Here's their match against Greater Lowell.
Prior to the start of this one, 15-1 Aspet Valley celebrated its seniors on senior night. After that, the Aztecs looked to make it 15 wins in a row against the Griffins of Greater Lowell. The first set started well as Jeff Hunter gets the feed from McManus and drives the kill in for the point. Then Jerry spots fellow senior Matt Scanlon, and Matt strikes the well-placed kill to give AV an early lead to the delight of the home crowd. Greater Lowell, however, would punch back. On this one, Hudson sets up Diaz, but Silas is met at the net and denied. Then it's Diaz and Hunter who go up for the double block, but the attack falls in. And later, the road team closes out the set with this well-placed attack that hits the line. Griffins take the point and the opening set, 25-23. AV hadn't dropped a set in weeks, so they'd have to find a way to come from behind. Here in the second, McManus comes up with a sweet dig and check out the no-look volley from Diaz. Number 32 thinks it's going out, but that's well in. AV never led in the set, though. Greater Lowell closes out the second on this blast from number 2, and then here he is again. This time he uses a little bit more touch. AV would drop the set and trail 2-0. The Aztecs would settle in and control the third with strong plays at the net, like Scanlon here as he comes up with a couple of well-timed blocks. Then DaCosta sets up Diaz, and Diaz finishes at the net to help Aspet take the set, 25-18. AV would also win the fourth on the back of plays like this, as Diaz sets up Scanlon for another of his 28 kills. Then Diaz sets it up for Hunter. Hunter would finish with 27 kills. And to close out the set, Diaz and Hudson combine on the double block, and they take the fourth set 26-24. But Greater Lowell was able to withstand the emotional surge and take the fifth. Leading the set 13-12, this attack drops in to set up game point. And then this serve drops in for the ace that wins it for the Griffins as they take the match 3-2.
Despite the loss, the Aztecs finished the season 16-2. They captured the team's first Colonial League title and a #1 seed in the district playoffs in Coach Crory's second year with the club. Impressive stuff, guys. We'll be sure to let you know how they fare next week. Now let's head to another team that started the season on fire. AV softball started the year 13-1 and looked to put themselves in the driver's seat for a league title as they took the field against undefeated Blackstone Valley Tech.
12-1 AV squared off against undefeated BVT on their senior day, looking to tie the Beavers in the standings. Aspet put up a 2-spot in the first. After a fielder's choice that drove in Raymond, Atwood shoots the single up the middle, and Petroni comes in to score. In the bottom of the second, Abby Clark smacks this pitch the other way over Petroni's head and left for the 2-bagger. Then it's an opposite field hit from Arpin that brings her in. And with 2 outs, Bearkiss rips the single between Tardif and Grenier that knotted the game at 2. After BVT took a 3-2 lead in the third, AV comes right back in the fourth and ties the game on this sac bunt by Tardif as Atwood comes in to score. BVT had a chance here in the fifth to take the lead as Atwood can't come up the grounder, but Garcia quickly fields, fires, and gets the runner at the plate to keep this one tied. Coach O'Brien loved the heads-up play from his second baseman. AV would later take the lead in the sixth on this wild pitch from O'Connor. Grenier races in, and it's a 4-3 game after 5.5. However, in the bottom half of the sixth, the Beavers came out swinging. Clark led off with authority as she smokes the Atwood pitch over the right field fence, and just like that, it was a tie game. But BVT wasn't done. Jill Newcomb lines this shot to left, and Petroni can't come up with it. The runner from second scores, and then later this base hit plates runners from second and third to give the home team a 4-run edge, and they'd go on to win by that margin, 8-4.
Including the loss at BVT, the Aztecs would go on to lose 5 of their last 6 and finish the year with a 14-6 record. With that, they were still able to earn a 4 seed and will host Murdoch in the first round of the Central Mass playoffs. And to finish the show, we'll head over to the Diamond at Stevens Park, where the Aztecs baseball team looked to sweep the season series versus AMSA, as well as capture the Colonial League championship.
It was senior day over at Stevens Park as AMSA honored its seniors pregame. The Eagles looked to keep their hopes of a Colonial League title alive against Aspet Valley, who could clinch it with a win. In the bottom of the first, AMSA has runners in scoring position with sophomore Andrew Cash at the dish, and he's money. The base knock drives in Wang and Hunt to give the Eagles the early 2-run advantage. The Aztecs would come up the next half inning as Wagner lines it to left field. The ball takes a bad hop on Nicholas and gets past him, so Wagner tries for second. But Nicholas gets it, fires to the bag, and Wagner's tagged out at second. Way to stick with the play. The Eagles weren't the only ones making plays in the field, however. In the fourth, AV's Tyler Boucher reels in the soft liner and catches the runner too far off the bag for the double play that ends the inning. We'll fast forward with the score 2-1 in the sixth, where Connor Sherling comes up with Smith on third, and Connor shoots a single up the middle. In comes Smith, and it's a tie game. AMSA has a chance here to end it in the seventh with a runner on, but AV turns another of its 4 double plays on the day, and we'd head to extra innings. In the top of the eighth, Cash would find himself in trouble with Juicy on third, and this time it's Smith who comes up with the big hit. Juicy comes home to take a 3-2 lead. Coach Gendron would go to his bullpen, taking out Cash after a gutsy performance going 7+ innings. His replacement Hunt would have to face Sherling, who tied the game in the sixth, and again he delivers late in the game. This time with a ground ball base hit past the dive of Craig. Smith comes flying around to score from second, and it's 4-2. AMSA would have one more chance in the eighth, but Isaac Wagner, after giving up just 2 runs in the first inning, would finish what he started, striking out Pachillo to end it. Aspet defeats AMSA 4-2, and with the win, they clinch the 2019 Colonial League title.
Congratulations to the Aztecs on an outstanding season. 17-3, league champs, and now they look to make noise in the Vogue tournament as well as the district playoffs, where they're going to be the 4th seed taking on Millbury. That's going to do it for this month's show. Congrats to all the graduating seniors out there in the city, and good luck in your future endeavors. Make sure you check back in next week as we bring you a special playoff edition of Sports Wrap. For WMCT Sports, I'm Matt Bisaccio, and we'll see you next time on WMCT Sports Wrap.